Manchester United travelled to Wembley Stadium to take on Tottenham Hotspur for a place in the FA Cup final. This game was important for both sides since this is the only opportunity left for both teams to pick up a title for this season. Manchester United were 1-0 down early on in the game and had to stage yet another comeback in order to win. So how did Maurinho manage to get the last laugh? Let's find out after we take a look at how the teams lined up. Maurinho has been sticking with 4-3-3 for majority of the second half of this season, so he opted to go with the same formation again, which turned into a 4-5-1 when defending with Lukaku pressing the back line. Pochettino went with 4-2-3-1, his go-to formation, and decided to stick with Worm and leave Lloris on the bench like he has done all season in the FA Cup. Right from the start, United pressed with high pressure all over the field, even when they cleared the ball. Most of you already know this. Pochettino loves to use his fullbacks in attacks. He is able to do this by having a midfielder cover in for the fullback making a forward run. To counter that, Mourinho tasked his fullbacks to stay tight with Tottenham's fullbacks. I think Pochettino was aware of this, so he told his fullbacks to stay back sometimes while a midfielder tried to exploit the space left in behind. Pogba was in charge of providing cover for Young at the left back position. As you saw, Pogba did not do a good job at staying tight with his marker. And Pogba's defensive side is pretty weak compared to other aspects of his game. It's no wonder that Tottenham got a breakthrough coming from exploiting Pogba's weak defensive abilities. Kane kept dropping deep to help in the build-up whenever possible. Eriksen drags Matic, creating space for Kane. Without the ball, Spurs tried to trap United on one side of the field, making it difficult for United to hold on to the possession. United's high pressure was allowing Tottenham to get upfield early on in the game. Which was causing United trouble since it was leaving too much space for Tottenham to exploit when they got away from the first wave of pressure. As a result, Tottenham were the more threatening side for the first 20 minutes as they kept on creating chances. And came really close to scoring their second goal of the game. United were okay with letting Tottenham go over on the wings since they had a lot of players on the box to defend. 3 United midfielders getting into the box to defend. This is because United wanted to limit the space in the middle of the park. When Herrera steps up, leaving space in behind, Matic goes over to mark the open player. As you may have expected, United relied on long balls to get them upfield. About 20 minutes in, United were getting into their rhythm as Lingard kept on making runs forward. Notice how Lingard comes narrow and tries to exploit the gap created by United. As a result, Mourinho's team were now playing a lot better than before. A couple minutes after that, Manchester United's high pressure forced Tottenham to turn over possession, leading to Sanchez scoring his 8th goal in his 8th game at Wembley. United kept up with their intensity as they kept on threatening Worm's goal. United were able to find a lot of success coming from the half spaces. Both Sanchez and Pogba kept trying to use this area of the field to create something, and almost got their second goal of the game due to this. Tottenham kept on attacking till the halftime whistle, trying to make something happen before the break. Going into the break, both sides were pretty even statistically, but Mourinho made sure that United were the better team coming out of the break. So how did he inspire his side to go on and win the game in the second half, yet again? He was able to do this by instructing the wingers to come even narrower than before, and mark the creative players who would drop into half spaces, even if it meant leaving Tottenham's fullbacks open at the ball near side. Even though Eriksen was dropping deep before, he was forced to do that more often than he would have liked. Pochettino, on the other hand, tasked Trippier to stay up regardless of what happened at the back. To counter that, Maurinho had to send Lukaku to a left wing-back position so he can take care of the fullback. But United's fingers coming narrow was causing Tottenham a lot of trouble, since that essentially took care of Tottenham's fullback and any creative players looking to play in the half spaces. United also were not pressing the goalkeeper whenever Spurs tried to play from the back. Pogba was doing a much better job staying with his marker. Lingard was still making those forward runs, disrupting Tottenham's defense. As a result, United were the better team coming out of the break. And kept threatening Worm, looking for that second goal. Pogba and Sanchez were brilliant in this game, but Herrera was on a different level. Take a look at what happened at the hour mark, for example. Herrera helps out in defense. A few seconds after that, United attempt to get upfield using a long ball straight from the goalkeeper, while Herrera, playing as a box-to-box midfielder, makes his way into Tottenham's box. After the goal, United relied on long balls to get them upfield for the most part. Or counter-attacks, since Tottenham were pushing really hard looking for an equalizer. Tottenham kept trying to get their second goal of the game. Eriksen now started to stay further up in hopes of creating a chance. Davies was now coming in the middle of the park to provide Tottenham with another option in the midfield. In the 67th minute, Lucas Moura replaced Davies. This change meant that Dyer dropped back to make it a back three, with Vertonghen becoming the left wing back. Later on in the game, as Spurs ramped up their intensity, United chose to sit back and defend in numbers, commonly known as park the bus. This made it difficult for Tottenham to create a clear-cut chance and were forced to take shots from distance. United were still threatening Spurs' goal on occasions. In the 81st minute, Lingard was replaced by Rashford. He took over Lukaku's responsibility of marking Trippier on the right wing. Another reason he came on is because he's capable of doing this and almost got a third goal for United. In the 86th minute, Lamela came on for Son, but that did not change much for Tottenham as they were still forced to take shots from distance. The game ended 2-1 with United advancing to the final of the FA Cup, where they will face Chelsea at Wembley. Mourinho has now won against Manchester City, Chelsea, Tottenham and Liverpool in the second half of the season. As I said before, this team is still not perfect and needs more work before they can be competing on the biggest stage against the biggest teams. But this is still a step in the right direction. What do you guys think about Mourinho's United in the second half of this season? Also, a lot of people say that Pochettino needs to win something before he can be considered a great manager. Do you agree with that? I would love to hear what you guys think, so let me know down in the comments below. Follow me on social media to stay up to date with my channel. The links can be found in the description. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thank you to Kale Mombongo, Anthony, Tej Mullen, Shawshank BR, and other patrons for supporting this channel on Patreon. If you like what I do and would like to support the channel, check out the Patreon page by clicking the link in the description or the pop-up on the top right.